I really tried, guys. This isn't my first attempt. This is after numerous attempts in numerous brands of products, and here we are. I haven't emphasized enough yesterday that this cost me more money than I would normally spend for this kind of project, for this kind of equipment. That this was a whole paycheck, like 2 weeks of work, and some taxes taken out. But, I'll get the tax refund later. Anywho, it was a lot more money than I would have normally gone for. This was something that was like, oh, I'm finally able to get this thing. It might be better than my previous solutions that I've done in the room over time, different parts of the room. I've seen other stuff fail in here. I didn't know this was going to be one of them. Here's a funny story. As I was hanging that thing up, you might have seen in the time lapse that there was kind of a joke in there, just a quick text word joke, where I hung half of it up and then it started peeling back and I hung it up again and I put in parentheses curse words or something like that. Yeah, I was actually a bit frustrated when trying to set this thing up because I had to frantically unpeel a lot of mounting squares and tape underneath that unit that was already attached to the unit when I got it out of the box. And then, hang up half of the thing and then run around the other side of the table and hang up the other half. And then press it into the wall on both sides and make sure it was nice and sturdy. I actually waited a few minutes before recording the video just to be sure that it was going to stay together and it wouldn't fall apart on the video. This didn't even make 24 hours. And I was having my highest of hopes that this was going to be a new solution, that this was going to be a useful solution, that this was going to be worth the money. I'm sorry, I don't make a lot of money, and I want what I can afford to work. Especially when I put my big foot forward and, more than I would have for this type of project, more than I put forward before for doing this type of lighting. And this was straight out of the box and whatever. The other fun thing is that when I hung up the unit up here that attaches to the lights, there were 2 mounting squares on it. I unstuck them, I attached them to the wall, but unfortunately, I put it on the wrong side. I actually meant to put it a little bit more centered in the tables, so I took them off. And then this residue is here. And that happened a couple other points in the wall for other times I tried this sort of thing. So, instead, I decided, let me just use my mounting tape to stick on the back of that and stick it up to the wall and press it firmly and all that stuff. Surprisingly, that's doing better than this, which has already been on the unit. I'm disappointed with it. Not even 24 hours. So I have this. This is my last roll, I believe, maybe second to last roll of mounting tape, unless I go out and buy more. I don't know if I can get 6 feet out of this to string along here and try to put it back on the wall and see if it holds for a long time. This has been reliable, whether it's on a ceiling, on a table, or on a wall, or on a bookshelf. But I have my doubts with this thing, and I don't want to keep wasting my time and money and effort and faith to this thing or any thing to work in here. This room just doesn't take it that well. You might remember a while ago I did something along here where I had a lot of mounting tape and mounting squares. I tried to hang up a lot of base plates and set up a minifigure wall. Unfortunately, a lot of them came crashing down. Some of them got lost in between tables and such behind here and eventually dug them out. The wall was warped, so it didn't help with some of the process of attaching them because it just didn't receive it that well. I don't know what kind of material the wall and the ceiling are made out of, but it's not one that's working well. And I know what you're thinking. Why don't you just get a fixture that you can drill into the wall and hook up an internal whatever? I don't know how to do that. This is an apartment, and I don't know if I have that permission from my landlord. So I'm trying methods that won't completely, deframe this thing. I mean, these parts I can patch up, but I'm not going to start making holes everywhere where I don't know how to do that or have the permission to do that from a superior. The only thing that has hung up well on the wall is that these two, which I'm actually surprised that's been hanging on for so long without really moving that much. A little bit here and there because this is Scotch tape. What do you expect? But mostly this has been hanging on well because it's been reinforced and it has a little bit of this holding it in place. This is actually used with not just mounting tape, but mounting Velcro tape. As in, I could peel this thing off of the wall. There would still be a strip along each corner of it, and it's Velcro. So it really holds together. I've used a couple of those before with other bookshelves, and I thought that was fantastic. That was like way more than I expected it to do. And there is also this fixture, but that was already here when I moved in 2 years ago. So I don't know. If I have enough, I will try this method. If I don't, I'm going to return this to Target, get my $95 back. I don't know what I'm going to do after that as a lighting solution. I'd like to use something in here that isn't too ghetto, that isn't these giant Hydra heads, or Ghidorah heads, just some like 5-headed unit. And look, I'm not made of money. I'm not going to have the best equipment or the best lighting, and I'm just trying to make do with what I can and what I can afford and just work from there. Maybe improve it over time or whatever. I'm not saying this is holding me back from YouTube videos or other projects that I want to do, or merchandise, which I've actually wanted to announce for a while, which is almost there. And this lighting actually would have helped with it for a bit. But it's just like when you see failure after failure and you try different methods for the same solution in here. I've tried multiple things in here. You can even see the hooks for some of the previous ones. They didn't throw as much light, or they didn't have the distance I needed, or they didn't attach to the wall that well. They fell down very easily. This was promised to be good. I read reviews to be sure about it before buying it. I researched it for weeks to months and tried to think in the back of my head, hey, if I can save up for this outside of Lego, the stuff I want to buy, this would be great to get for the Lego room. Like, seriously, I'm tired of all this trying and failing. And I want to move on. I want to improve. I want to have something to show. But it keeps coming back and biting me. And I don't know what to do. It's not a good time of year for me in general. September and October are usually low months for me, but that's another story. I'm not going to go into it that much here. But seriously, it's either the room hates me or somebody's sabotaging me. I really don't know. And if somebody's sabotaging me, they need to step forward because I have choice words for them. And I need to know why they would do this to me. Thanks for watching my rant. I don't know when the next video will be or what it's going to be about. When the next live stream will be, I'll talk to you later.